Entrepreneurial management with e-commerce. The reporter. So my name is Maripel Cornacion. I am an MBA student. I'm going to discuss the feasibility study. So the topic we're going to discuss are the organizational or management aspect of feasibility study, its marketing aspect, operational aspect, technical aspect, financial aspect, economic and legal aspect. Feasibility studies aim to objectively and rationally uncover the strengths and weaknesses of the existing business or proposed venture, opportunities and threats as presented by the environment, the resources required to carry it out, and ultimately the prospects for success. A well-designed feasibility study should provide a historical background of the business or project, description of the product or service, accounting statements, details of the operations and management, marketing, research and policies, financial data, legal requirements, and tax obligations. In its simplest term, the two criteria to judge feasibilities are cost required and value to be attained. And generally, feasibility studies precede technical development and project implementation. So, what are the reasons to do feasibility study? It gives focus to the project and outline alternatives. It narrows business alternatives, identifies new opportunities through the investigative process, identify reasons not to proceed, enhances the probability of success by addressing and mitigating factors early on that could affect the project, provides quality information for decision making, provides documentation that the business venture was thoroughly investigated, helps in securing funding from leading institutions and other monetary sources, helps to attract equity investments. What are the reasons for not doing feasibility study? We already know it's possible. An existing business is already doing it. Feasibility studies are just a way from consultants to make money. The market analysis has already been done by other same business. Feasibility studies are a waste of time. We need to buy the building, tie up the site, and start the business instead of doing feasibility studies. First aspect of feasibility study is the organizational or management aspect. Organizational or management aspect deals with the organization, and it is in this aspect that the proponents identify the key officers and key personnel. Basic considerations inform organization, form of ownership, organizational chart, project scheduling, and perform job analysis. An organizational feasibility may also include professional background information about the founders and principals of the business and what skills they can contribute to the business. In order to achieve the efficiency of the business objectives, management aspect could prioritize the overall operation of the business. Things to consider during organizational management aspect is the management during the pre-operating period and management during the operating period. Management during the pre-operating period, project originators, project promoters, bankers, team of persons involved are to be involved in marketing, engineering, and other studies. Management during the construction period. So management during the operating period, type of business organization, partnership, corporation, and reason for the choice, internal organization, statement of function of each unit, organizational chart, owners, citizenship of owners and percentage of the respective holdings, the management personnel from the members of the board of directors to the department of section managers, the duties and time to be devoted to the project, requirements, recruitment, compensation, staffing, qualification, education, history. Labor. Skills required, number required for each skill, sources of labor source for each type of skills, recruitment program, labor training program, compensation, prevailing rates, legal rates, rates intended for the project, starting rates and provision for annual increases, facilities for laborers, the housing, transportation, medical and dental care, recreation, and other fringe benefits, effect of labor laws on the form mentioned, general managers if any arrangement and fee, and lastly, professional firms to be hired like law, accounting, and engineering. Second feasibility aspect is the marketing aspect. Marketing aspect, this is considered the most indispensable part of the feasibility study. If one cannot demonstrate that the adequate demand for a product or service exists, then the project is not feasible. In such case, there will be no need to continue with the rest of the feasibility studies. A market analysis will also help determine the size of the market, demographics and psychographics of the market, level of competition, and the size of the market you can compete for. Market analysis is very important before starting the business because this is the part where you can determine who will be your next possible customers and will remain your possible customers in the future. Six P's of marketing includes product, place, price, promotion, process, and people. Product discuss the particular product or services the business is going to pursue and how to do it from its raw materials up to the time that it is ready for sale. Place. Discuss where to purchase the raw materials and where to sell the product or services. Price. Determine how much is needed to transform the raw materials into products or services, considering the possible selling price per product and the possible earnings per day or per month, or as forecasted in the feasibility study. Promotion. Consider the things that will help in promoting the product, product's logo, posting on social media, use of TV and radio advertisement. Process discuss how the business come up and the point-to-point procedure, production, purchase, promotion, selling, and delivery. People identify the target customers, whether existing or potential, and if the products or services will cater their needs and the possibility that they will purchase. Six P's of marketing includes product, place, price, promotion, process, and people. Third aspect of feasibility study includes operational aspect. Operational aspect is dependent on human resources available for the project and involves projecting whether the system will be used if it is developed and implemented. It is a measure of how well a proposed system solves the problems and takes advantage of the opportunities identified during scope definition and how it satisfies requirements identified in the requirements analysis phase of system development. In order to determine operational possibility, it is important to understand the management commitment to the proposed project. If the request was initiated by management, it is likely that there is management support and the system will be accepted and used. However, it is also important that the employee base will be accepting of the change. Since the questions to be answered for the operational aspect, will there be an increased benefit or cost reduction? Is there timely and accurate information to managers and end users? Does the current operational model provide enough response in throughput time? Does the current mode of operation offer cost-effective information to the business? Does the current system provide an effective process to safeguard against fraud and breach of data? What are the manpower problems the system will face? Will the system be used once it is developed? Will there be labor objections? What are likely organizational policies and conflicts? What are the governmental regulations that might affect the system? Fourth possibility aspect is technical aspect. Technical aspect is with allocation of resources that will be needed in order to satisfy the market. The technical soundness analysis will be considered complete if all pertinent technical aspects of the project has been taken into account in the analysis and if the plan construction or procurement conforms to accepted standards and practices. The estimated cost of the project should be as low as any other reasonably available alternate which will produce the intended result. The technical analysis ensures the business is ready successfully enough to run and well equipped with the right resources. Documentation of technical analysis is important to make sure that all materials, operations, and techniques will always be available and updated. Components of technical aspect includes product, manufacturing process, structures, raw materials, machinery, plant size and production schedule, plant location, plant layout, waste disposal, and utilities. Fifth, feasibility study aspect is financial aspect. When we say financial feasibility, it means that you are dealing more with the budget. How will you finance the expenditure once you open your business? When we say financial aspect, it shows the financial standing of the business and its viability in the market. Its main objective is to discuss the needed capital, projected income of the business, and estimate how many years it will take to recover the investment. Although when conducting financial analysis for business involves working with forecasts and projections, it is also important to know the financial capacity of the business. Thus, economic analysis of the business revolves around managing the scarce resources within the disposal and finances the cheap resource. The financial section of the feasibility report is where investors are focused. They are interested in how much is the percentage return on investment and the payback period. Components of financial aspect includes total projection cost, initial capital requirements, sources of financing, financial statement, and financial analysis. Total projection cost approximate the total project cost, while the cost estimate is used to authorize a project budget and manage its costs. Initial capital requirements is the sum of funds that your company needs to achieve its goals. Sources of financing for business are equity, debt, debentures, retained earnings, term loans, work capital loan, letter of credit, euro issue, venture funding, and etc. These sources of funds are used in different situations. They are classified based on time period, ownership and control, and their source of generation. Financial statements are formal records of financial activities and position of a business, person, or other entity. Relevant financial information is presented in a structured manner and in a form which is easy to understand. Financial analysis refers to an assessment of the viability, stability, and profitability of a business, sub-business, or project. It is performed by professionals who prepare reports using ratios and other techniques, and make use of information taken from financial statements and other reports. Components of financial aspects include total project cost, initial capital requirements, sources of financing, financial statement, and financial analysis. The last feasibility study aspect is the economic and legal aspect. Economic aspect demonstrate the net benefit of a proposed project for accepting or disbursing electronic funds or benefits, taking into consideration the benefits and costs to the agency, our state agency, and the general public as a whole. The economic feasibility study is composed of two required forms, namely business case and cost-benefit analysis. Legal aspect identifies if the proposed project conforms to legal and ethical requirements. It is important that a project or business is following the requirements needed to start a business or project, including business licenses, certificates, copyright, business insurance, tax number, health and safety measures. There are some things to consider in economic and legal feasibility study, including ethical issues and some social issues. Some of these issues include monopoly power, unsustainability, instability, privacy, nepotism, and accountability. Business case provides an analysis of the business environment, including but not limited to a description of who the expected customers are, the nature of the business, how the payment is currently being processed, if applicable, and the current and expected volume and timing of transaction. Cost-benefit analysis summarizes the revenue and costs involved with the process project to determine if the benefits outweigh the costs, whether to go forward with the project or review the project to see if it can make adjustment to either increase benefits or decrease costs to make the project viable. Otherwise, the company would likely avoid the project. The business case includes a description of assumptions made in the economic feasibility analysis and reasoning behind those assumptions. The amount in the cost-benefit analysis should reflect the amount and assumption in the business case. Again, these aspects are organizational management aspect, marketing aspect, operational aspect, technical aspect, financial aspect, and lastly, economic and legal aspect. Thank you very much.